We set a challenge for our two young strikers here at the beginning of Season 3 of our realistic Borussia Dortmund career mode. And whilst Yusufa Moukoko has had a fairly impressive start to the season with 3 goals and 1 assist in just 5 games, Max Bayer has taken that challenge and run with it. 10 goal contributions in just 8 appearances early in the year. And whilst they should both continue to get plenty of playing time thanks to our new 4-2-4 system, the player who has the most goals and assists come the end of the season will be rewarded with an improved squad role and a new contract. And before we get into today's games, there are some additional contracts that we need to hand out. A number of important first team players currently on expiring deals. I'm extremely grateful we didn't have to sell our club captain Nico Schlotterbeck in the summer. He's keen to stay, but it will involve offering him a new salary constituting about a 90% pay increase. I am more than happy to do that. Marcel Sabitzer is 32 years of age, but has found a new lease of life in the 4-2-4 system and has been an important presence alongside Felix Metscher, so I'm happy to offer him an extension of a year or 2. He is asking for a crucial squad role though, which we certainly can't commit to for more than 1 additional season. So he'll be a Dortmund player for at least and probably at most 1 more year. With the currently temporary but potentially permanent addition of João Cancelo, I don't think we can justify offering Bensebaini a new contract, and the same goes for Salih Özcan. He's currently competing for time with not only Felix Metscher and Marcel Sabitzer, but also, of course, Eric Martel and the new signing Arne Engels, in addition even to Merlin Röhl. So I think it's likely both Bensebaini and Özcan leave the club either in the summer, if not in January. With the arrival of Dori Petrovic and the high hopes we have for Louis Waters, there doesn't really seem to be a place going forward for Marcel Lotka. Julian de Ranville hasn't really managed to break into the first team just yet, but I think there's still a chance that he could, and at just 20 years of age, he still does have a lot of untapped potential. So we'll offer him a conservative 2-year extension with a moderate pay rise and a rotational squad role, and he will re-sign as well, which leaves us only with Karim Adeyemi, a player we absolutely have to keep at the club, and we're absolutely going to have to increase not only that squad role, which is currently rotation, but also the wages, which are just 46,000 a week at the moment. Adeyemi has gone from stride to stride over the course of the series, and alongside the likes of Max Bayer, Yusufa Moukoko, Jamie Gittins, even Julian de Ranville, we are very much hoping that he could be part of the core future of this football club. And indeed, Adeyemi, with 75,000 per week on an important squad role, also signs on the dotted line. Today's video is sponsored by Enigma Football, the UK's leading supplier of football shirt mystery boxes. Whether you're looking for a fun way to expand your own football shirt collection, or you're looking for a unique gift for the diehard football fan in your life, Enigma Football have got you covered. Their mystery boxes start at just $34.99, which is almost half the standard retail price, and you can be 100% sure that their shirts are authentic because they get them straight from the clubs and manufacturers themselves. And you can reduce that price even further by using code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. That code applies to any single football shirt mystery box, and it also applies to the first month of any mystery box subscription package, where you'll receive a fresh new shirt on your doorstep every single month. You can be sure you'll get a shirt that you like too. You can ask Enigma Football to send you a shirt from a specific league with a specific color or pattern, or to avoid certain teams, and if you still don't like what they send, you have 60 days to either return or exchange it. So head over to Enigma Football and place your order today. The link is in the description, and be sure to use code LAMBZY at the checkout for 10% off your first order. Shout out to Enigma Football for sponsoring the video and for hooking me up with a couple of shirts, including a Dortmund shirt for this series. Now let's get back to the video. Those players with their freshly inked deals will have plenty of opportunities to prove their worth in today's episode. Our featured game today is going to be at home against RB Leipzig in the Bundesliga. I'll show you highlights of our trip to Atletico Madrid in the Champions League and Schalke in the DFB Pokal, and we'll be quick simming 3 Bundesliga games against Werder Bremen, against Union Berlin, and first here against Stuttgart. We're a little light at the back for this one. Anton is injured, Cancelo is injured, Koulibaly is not match fit, Bensebaini is suspended, so it's Wilhelmsen and Kivior to come in. We do have a nice long layoff after this game though, so plenty of time for the squad to get fit and healthy ahead of Leipzig. We only come away with a draw against Stuttgart, though. The game began with a goal from Demirovic. Bayer equalised just before half-time. We actually went ahead after the break through Zavitsa, but Demirovic scores his second to give Stuttgart a point. But that does bring us to our featured game of today's episode against RB Leipzig, who, like us, lost their star man in a €100 million transfer this summer. They also lost Xaver Schlager, who I think is actually a really underrated player, to Real Betis for 40 million. However, they seem to have spent that money wisely, adding useful players to their side like Sven Botman, like Man City's Rico Lewis. They also have a really useful looking youth academy prospect up front in the 20-year-old Marcel Janssen, 80 overall already. But not only that, they have secured the return of Dominik Szoboszlai. They do also sit just above us in the Bundesliga, and as always will probably be one of our primary rivals for a Champions League spot come the end of the season. So without further ado, let's head over to Signal Iduna Park and see if we can prove that we, rather than Leipzig, are the true up-and-coming team in the Bundesliga. So we could use a bit of a bounce back episode, to be honest. Not the best performances last time out, and we haven't got off to the perfect start with just a draw against Stuttgart. However, and we haven't got off to the best start in this game either. Petrovic pumping it out of play. However, a win here I think would go a long way to regaining a little bit of momentum. Momentum that we lost in the last episode. Couple of big performances to begin and end the episode, but several disappointing performances in between. So a new look, well, kind of a new look Leipzig side, kind of an old look side, with the return of Dominik Szoboszlai out here on the left-hand side. Marlon Rell tries to get a foot in, and that's an excellent interception by Nico Schlotterbeck, who once again is not fully match fit. I'm not sure why, but he's basically hasn't started a game fully match fit in quite some time, several weeks. And I can't work out why that is. He's on the right training plan. He just always seems to be on about 85% fatigue or fitness at the beginning of a game. Nice little turn from Felix Metscher and played in behind for Jamie Gittens, who strikes across goal, carried away by Galagi. And it is going to be an early corner here. With the loss of Julian Brandt, we don't really have ideal set-piece takers anymore. Marcel Zavitsa is fine. Cleared off the line. Jamie Gittens apparently is fine. That was an excellent delivery from the corner. And he whips it in once more, looking for Moukoko, who's all alone in the box and onside, and puts it into the back of the net for an early lead. Moukoko trying to chase down Max Bayer in terms of goals and assists. Max Bayer out to a significant lead early in the season. What a delivery that is from Jamie Gittens. Put it on a plate for Moukoko, who was all alone on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it was a pinpoint header. Again, officially, headers are back. If you haven't watched recent episodes or recent slider updates if you're on full manual controls, use the pass button rather than the shoot button. I've scored a number of headers in recent episodes using that particular technique, and it's been working very, very well. There's Janssen, finds Openda. Oh my god, and they hit the post. Petrovic, I'm pretty sure, beaten. Didn't look like he would have got to that. And Couto just looks clear. It's straight to a Leipzig player, though. That little strip of sun is really confusing because you can't really tell which shirt a player is wearing when they're in that little strip of sun. They just kind of blur into just a glow, and you can't tell yellow from white. Janssen again, nicely worked into Openda. Schlotterbeck forces them back. Felix Metsch is going to have to get switched on here. Seiwald tries to play it in behind. Couto cuts it out, and Szoboszlai presses, but Couto again is just going to hook clear. Adeyemi almost kept it in play. Leipzig pressing very intensely and very high to begin this game. Really poor header from Janssen. Cancelo. I think we're going to have to be very wary of the Leipzig press in today's game. Great overlapping run from Couto. But I think there's going to be opportunities to exploit them on the counter-attack. That's a poor pass from Felix Metsch. We just have to be wary on the counter-attack ourselves. And I think it might be a game where it makes a little bit of sense to use Jan Couto a little more conservatively. Usually we are very eager. It's another poor pass from Felix Metsch, who's done nothing but give the ball away so far. Good block on the edge of the box. Finally manages to find a yellow shirt with a pass. But usually we're very keen for Jan Couto to get forward on the right-hand side. But I think as a result of that RB Leipzig press and the fact that as Leipzig equalised, that's exactly why. We had no outlet on the right-hand side there. Petrovic just had to try and lump it clear. Just kind of in the direction of Adeyemi and Jan Couto. But it was straight to a Leipzig player. Straight to Openda, who equalises. And it was a disappointing performance from Petrovic in the last episode. I don't think we can really blame him there. So I think we will be dropping Jan Couto in a little bit deeper and using him a bit more like a traditional fullback in today's game. We're not going to be using him to his full potential, but I think tactics are going to have to kind of outweigh individual attributes as the ball does go out for a corner, and we will make that change now. So unfortunately we are dropping Jan Couto from attacking wing-back, where he is a plus in terms of player role and proficiency. Merlin Royal gets the strike away, blocked him out for another corner. Dropping Couto from attacking wing-back, where he is a plus to just straight wing-back, where he doesn't have a player role. So certainly not using Couto to the best of his ability on that right-hand side, but I think it's going to be necessary. Schlotterbeck just tries to drive it across the 6-yard box. But Leipzig deal with it well and come away with Gertruda. Or Makoko can't quite steal it away. Moracic with another start today as Anton nears a return from injury, but it's not quite there yet. Good run from Makoko. And Couto has drifted forward. We will still see Couto in advanced positions, but he won't just be bombing forward like he usually does. I think he'll be waiting for the play to develop a little bit before getting up in support like we saw there. But a little too far forward on that occasion. Szoboszlai. Really good signing from Leipzig. Obviously being very, very good for Liverpool over the years. And I think they must have spent a significant portion of that, what was it, 94 million that they got for Szczęsny on bringing Szoboszlai back to the club. Great ball into the feet of Adeyemi. He cuts inside, finds Moukoko, who plays a really good ball into the path of Gittins, who's offside. Is he? I thought he was onside there. Really nice little ball from Moukoko through the gap between the right back and the centre back, and Gittins was just offside. It was fairly close. Moukoko once again getting a lot better at dropping into those little gaps. Moukoko, he really is more of a poacher than a false nine, and it is kind of potential that we see in Moukoko for that particular role, rather than him being suited to it at this moment in time. But we are very much seeing him develop and grow into the role, becoming a lot more effective when he picks up those slightly deeper positions where he dictates. And again we score another header. It's Jamie Gittins this time, as the ball bounces all the way through the Leipzig defence, all the way to the back of the penalty area from João Cancelo's free kick. They let it bounce about 8 yards out. The keeper doesn't come for it. The defensive line doesn't drop deep enough, and it's another excellent header. I'm losing track of the number of headers that we've scored in recent episodes. I think we've scored more headers than non-headers at this point in Season 3. Headers well and truly back, if you had any doubt. Based on the last 3 episodes of the series, I don't think you can have any doubt any longer. But we re-establish our lead half an hour into the game. I thought it was probably going to take us a little while longer to do so. I was confident that we could do so. Didn't expect it quite so soon. Didn't necessarily expect it in that particular fashion. Good save from Petrovic. Petrovic seems small. When I see him making saves like that, he's kind of scrambling across his goal, and only just managing to make those kinds of saves. He looks small, but he's not. I think he's 6'3", maybe even 6'4". We have to get out to this, and Omracic does. Openda, one-on-one with Schlotterbeck, who squares him up. Openda does still manage to get the shot away. Petrovic with a big save. I wouldn't be surprised if Leipzig scored again, though. They look dangerous. Thankfully, that strike straight down the throat of Petrovic. Caught sweetly on the volley, and seemed to have the power to beat the keeper. Didn't quite have the placement. Gittins out on the left-hand side. Good performance from him so far. Oh, and Merlin Rell will find Moukoko, who can't quite find Gittins, and just wanted to give the defender a little shimmy there and slot it inside to Gittins, but defender read it well. Nicely worked down the Leipzig right, though. And again, they find themselves in possession in an advanced position. Openda dictating the attacking play for Leipzig at the moment. Haidara. Nicely worked. Openda with the outside of his foot. Petrovic gets across to make the save. Parries it away. Thankfully, not back into the danger zone. And Moukoko is away here and slots it home for his second and our third. And it's going to be Max Bayer with the assist. So Moukoko is going to catch Bayer in the goal column. But of course, it's goals and assists that are going to count come the end of the season. So it's one each for Bayer and Moukoko there. And it's another quick counter-attack that allows us in behind. Not the best finish you'll ever see from Moukoko. Fairly close to the goalkeeper, but it was more the timing of the strike than the precision or the power. Just waiting until Galashi kind of set his feet, committed himself, and then slotted it past him. And our front two continue to form just a deadly partnership. At this point in the season, how many games have we played? What? I think this maybe is our 10th game of the season total. And I think Bayer and Moukoko have combined for close to 20 goal contributions, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely unbelievable performance from each of the two. It's tough to say which one has played better to start the season. Bayer, of course, does have slightly more goal contributions, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's been the better player. Moukoko having an excellent season in his own right. But just a minute or two to go until half-time, and we have not only regained our lead, but established a 2-goal lead. And we could even make that 3 at the end of the first half here. Adeyemi picks it up and drives. Nice feet. Just turns back and relinquishes the ball to Couto, though. And that's such a poor pass. Merlin Rell, to be fair, is just sprinting at Couto. I just wanted, and then getting in the way with his arm. Strange. Pretty poor first half performance from Merlin Rell, to be honest. And both he and Eric Martel, the young midfielders we brought in early in the series to hopefully be the future of our midfield, neither of them have really made an impact for the club so far, and we are in season 3 now. Martel really has been supplanted by Arne Engels already, and Merlin Rell really hasn't stepped up to supplant Marcel Sabitzer, who we have of course just given a 1-year extension to, so hopefully we'll see about a second half from Merlin Rell. If you're enjoying the game and today's episode, please take a second to like the video, and if you want to see more realistic FC 25 content, be sure to subscribe, not just to catch the next episode of this series, but other realistic career modes, realistic rebuilds, slider updates that might be dropping in the future. And if you want to get ahead of the curve and see those kinds of videos before anybody else, consider becoming a 12th man member of the channel. Membership starts at just $1.99 a month and grants you exclusive early access to all new videos, with tier rewards scaling up from there and including the possibility of being featured in my career mode saves. Thank you to everyone who is already supporting the channel through their membership. It is genuinely very much appreciated and helps the channel to run. But now let's head back out for the second half. So a couple of additional but very slight tactical changes as we come out for the second half. Just looking to hold on to our lead, really. I don't think we need to push too hard to extend it. So we will just be playing with Yan Couto on fullback rather than even wing-back, let alone attacking wing-back. So he'll be sitting alongside Omar Acic and Schlotterbeck to form more of a back 3. João Cancelo will still be stepping forward, but he's going to be on false back defend rather than balance. So taking up a slightly more defensive, slightly more conservative, as that certainly wasn't conservative from Schlotterbeck. Picking up a slightly more conservative position as well. So just looking to sit on this 2-goal lead, really. Leipzig have been energetic, intense, especially in their press throughout the game. We're just looking to avoid mistakes. Adeyemi, gets there ahead of the sliding challenge and finds Moukoko, who can't quite find the inside run of Merlin Rell. It was the right run. Unfortunately, it was read excellently by the defender, though. You could see him just kind of peel off Moukoko and into that passing lane just at the right moment. Good defending. Adeyemi gets the foot in as well. It's been a fairly quiet game from Adeyemi, to be fair. Again, he's gone from strength to strength really over the course of the series. Just seems to get better and better. But a fairly quiet game today. Couto drops in but can't win the ball back. Felix Mecha can, though, and he will just hook clear. Moukoko can win that. He can't quite, and I think it's going to be a free kick. Leipzig too. And it is. Could have been away there on the counter-attack with Merlin Rell. Well won from Mecha. Adeyemi can't beat his man. Felix Mecha can't win the ball back either. Do of course have Atletico Madrid coming up after this. And then a DFB Pokal Cup match. Of course, the reigning DFB Pokal champions, Borussia Dortmund. So we'll be looking to go back-to-back in the cup competition. Not expecting to go back-to-back, but certainly aiming to do so. Jamie Gittens with Karim Adeyemi outside him. And Max Bayer. Oh, he just gets his toe to it, the Leipzig defender. Just wanted to play that out in front of Max Bayer, who blocks the ball as Galashi tries to clear. I think with his arm, to be fair, but either way, falls harmlessly into the arms of Galashi. But looking to go back-to-back in the cup. Not sure if that's been done before by Dortmund. I imagine not. I imagine it probably has been done at some point by Bayern Munich, though. Potentially not. Szoboszlai beats Röhrl. Finds a teammate. Petrovic can't hold it, but he does parry clear. And then hooked clear by Jan Kuto. And Szoboszlai again out on the right-hand side for Leipzig now. And it's really good defending from João Cancelo. But again, the high press. Couldn't work it clear with Jamie Gittens. And it's really well saved by Petrovic. Excellent stop. Again, a bit of a disappointing performance from him in the last episode, but that's an excellent save. Kuto. Nope. Moukoko finds Kuto, though. And we'll just retain possession. Schlotterbeck. Omaracic and Cancelo. Nicely worked. Nicely worked. Looked as though we may have a counter-attack, but did well just to retain possession when the opportunity disappeared. And that is a rash challenge. Moukoko curls one, looking for his hat-trick, and I don't think the Leipzig man is going to be punished with a free kick or with a yellow card. That was obviously a booking. So a change for Leipzig and a couple of changes for Nuri Sahin. Arne Engels to come on for Merlin Röhrl, who again has had a disappointing game. And Koulibaly on for Schlotterbeck, who once again just doesn't really seem to ever have full match fitness. He seems to be ready to come off around the hour mark almost every game. Sometimes we bring him off, sometimes we don't, but it seems he just can't quite get fully up to speed at the moment. And then every time we play him, it sets him back once again. Leipzig just completely isolated about 30 yards from goal, and that's such a good challenge from Cancelo. We just have to try and hook clear with Koulibaly, and then Cancelo, who finds Arne Engels, and again that's nicely worked, and into the feet of Jamie Gittens, who can drive. Klosterman is quick though, and we'll just find Mecha. Again, we can just sit on this 2-goal lead. We don't have to push too hard for a 4th goal in the game. Just avoid mistakes, which is something we haven't necessarily managed to do over the course of the series, but something we certainly have managed to do so far today, and increasingly have managed to do more and more often. I think Gittens is onside this time, and he is. Just pulls it back from Moukoko, who finds Mecha, and the sliding challenge dispossesses him, and Openda could be away. Cancelo well placed, but outnumbered on the right-hand side. Does a decent enough job, allows Jamie Gittens to slot in as well, though. And again, we put a stop to that Leipzig counter-attack. Szoboszlai once more. Really good pass infield. And Openda cut out by Koulibaly. Oh, and Leipzig have a goal back. We just couldn't clear our lines. It's one thing that really frustrates me. We cut the ball out with Koulibaly there. Your players just don't react. They just don't react. There's like a second where you intercept the ball where you just can't do anything. Buttons just... There's no input. The buttons don't do anything. Yet, the CPU players are still completely switched on. So I was pressing clear there with Koulibaly. He just doesn't do anything. That's a poor pass. Allows the Leipzig man to steal the ball away and stick it in the back of the net. Not really a lot we can do about that, to be honest. But all of a sudden, Leipzig are back in it. 15 minutes or so left to play. And again, we are defending just a 1-goal lead. Just as I was saying too, that we've done better and better at avoiding mistakes in recent episodes. We go and make one that could cost us all 3 points in this game, potentially. Really good defender from Moukoko. You cannot give a free kick for that. You simply can't. Leipzig make another change. It's going to be a shot that cracks off the bar from, I assume, Dominik Szoboszlai from the free kick. Absolutely vicious strike from the free kick, which could have seen Leipzig level. They still could grab a leveller here. It's another good challenge from Koulibaly, and Petrovic comes out, makes himself big, and forces the Leipzig corner. And we'll make a triple change before they take it. Thomas to come on, Zabitzer to come on, Frankowski as well, as we look to hold on to this single goal advantage that we have through the last 15 minutes or so of the game. Frankowski just carries it clear out on the left-hand side and then just chips it up towards Thomas. Wasn't too much more he could have done with it there. Thomas does well to come away with the ball though. And we'll cut inside and we'll burst away from his man and continue to drive. Really good little run from Thomas. Did an excellent job of just holding the ball up and just letting some crucial minutes tick off the clock. Really good challenge from Zabitzer. He finds Adeyemi, who again bursts away from his man and can demonstrate the pace. Demonstrates the composure and the wisdom though, just to hold on to the ball rather than to try and force something. A little bit of maturity there from Adeyemi. That's a poor pass though. And we invite pressure. Janssen, the youngster, lobs it forward. Dealt with well by Koulibaly. And again, we'll just shoot clear. And that could drop right into the path of Max Bayer, and it does. Bayer fires across the keeper, saved. Adeyemi steals it back though and gets a shot away of his own, and it's over. Just an aimless clearance from Koulibaly, just lumps it up the field just to get rid. But that pace from Max Bayer, he's first to the ball. And we could have had a goal to re-establish a 2-goal lead out of nothing. Leipzig's second goal came out of nothing, to be fair. And I wouldn't have minded having that little bit of insurance headed into the final 5 minutes of the game, which surely have secured all 3 points for us. Instead, it's going to be a bit of a nervy finish in front of the home fans. Really good defending once again. Zabitzer heads clear. Thankfully, Adeyemi collects. Does just about manage to hold on to the ball with Frankowski. And Engels finds Zabitzer. Oh, and he just about finds his teammate once again, and Thomas drops in and collects. Shot, that has to be a free kick. That has to be a free kick. That's something else that continues to frustrate me. Oh my god, and it's another aimless clearance that's dropped right into the path of Bayer, and it's a great save. Bayer just can't put the ball in the back of the net. Should have done there. It was a bit more of a difficult opportunity the first time around, but that has to be a goal. That simply has to be a goal. Adeyemi. And we've got a man over on the far side. Again, we'll just retain possession though. Take it into the corner. While away the last couple of minutes of the game. Come away with the victory and 3 points. Engels shoots, saved. The referee's not going to blow his whistle. I was waiting for it there. But it is going to be another corner which we will take short. Zavitzer once again finds Adeyemi. He finds Bino Gittins. Surely now, ref, and he does indeed blow the whistle. And we do just about come away with the victory. A nervy final 15 minutes or so. But I think we did enough to deserve the win. Leipzig were decent. Like we said, energetic, intense, especially on the press. But I think we did well to counter that. Playing fairly direct, counter-attacking football once again. And capitalising on our opportunities when we got them. We didn't get that many opportunities. There were some that we definitely squandered. Could easily have had another goal or two. But it's not as if we dominated the game. We took our opportunities when they came. And again, that's something we've been doing more and more often over the course of the series. And particularly in recent episodes. So we do leapfrog Leipzig in the Bundesliga to go 1 point ahead of them and up to third position. Just 3 points behind Bayern Munich. This year, though, it's Bayer Leverkusen running away with the title. 7 wins from 7. A massive 18 goals scored and only 8 conceded through 7 games. It's Atletico Madrid in the Champions League next up, though. And we're going to give Schlotterbeck a chance to get back to full match fitness by resting him here. Waldemar Anton, however, returns from injury. So he joins Koulibaly at the back alongside Frankowski, who also comes into the side. Mitoma and Thomas come in to join Bayer and Adeyemi up front. I was a little nervous heading into this one, but I think we put in one of our most complete performances of the season so far. Karim Adeyemi in the 20th minute driving and opening the scoring with an excellent finish at the far post. But the reason it was a complete performance is that Atletico Madrid had their opportunities too, but we defended well. Petrovic had another good game, and that allowed us to hold on to our 1-goal lead until the second half, about an hour into the game, where Frankowski found Karim Adeyemi at the back post, who doubled his and our tally. When Conor Gallagher was sent off for a second bookable offence. The final 15 minutes of the game were fairly routine, and Max Bayer, after receiving the lobbed through pass from Merlin Röhl, completed the victory with a third goal. So not only do we come away with the victory, but we come away with another good performance, another 3 goals scored, and another rare clean sheet. It was a disappointing campaign last season in the Champions League, and we got off to the worst possible start this season as well. Hopefully this is a sign that we're turning things around in the competition, and we can make it deep into those knockout stages this time around. But we're back in the Bundesliga for our next game against a team who have surprised us in the series up to this point, Union Berlin. They've been serial overperformers, not only qualifying for the Champions League, but making it deep into the knockout stages and of the DFB Pokal Cup as well. This season, though, they are rock bottom of the Bundesliga, all the way down in 18th. We do, however, only narrowly manage to beat them. David Wilhelmsen scoring his first goal for Borussia Dortmund in a rare appearance. Jamie Gittins scoring late on to give us the win after Skark opened the scoring for Berlin in the first half. And in a busy month, it is Schalke up next in the DFB Pokal. Omar Radcic, Anton Engels and Julian de Ranville each come into the side for this one. And this certainly wasn't a complete performance. We were behind in disappointing fashion just 10 minutes into the game, and from there we continued to allow Schalke far too much time and space to play. We didn't impose ourselves on the game. Things brightened up a little bit for us in the second half, but we still couldn't break Schalke down. They seemed content to just sit and hold their 1-goal lead, but when they doubled their advantage, they shut up shop and just saw the game out. We pressed hard to get back into the game in the final 15-20 minutes or so, but heroics from the goalkeeper, as well as some dogged defending by Schalke, meant they were able to hold on to their 2-goal lead and see the game to a victory. But after a mild upset where we travel to Atletico Madrid and come away with a convincing 3-0 win, Schalke serve us a major upset of our own, not only defeating us 2-0 in relatively convincing fashion, but knocking us out of the DFB Pokal and taking away an opportunity to go back-to-back and win another trophy this year. So if we're going to end an overall positive episode on a high, we have to come away with a victory here in our final Bundesliga game against Werder Bremen, and thankfully we do. Benta Baini getting on the score sheet in the first half, top equalised for Werder Bremen. But goals from Gittins and Adeyemi in the second half secured victory despite BVB getting sent off again. So disappointing, of course, to lose in the DFB Pokal, but we went unbeaten outside of that game with some impressive performances, particularly that one against Atletico Madrid. That saw us rise to 7th in the Champions League table, and that win over Werder Bremen sees us rise to 3rd in the Bundesliga, level on points with Bayern Munich. They do, however, have a game in hand. Bayer Leverkusen have dropped their first points of the season, still yet to lose though. As for the goal race, Max Bayer ever so slightly extends his lead over Youssoufa Moukoko. He's up to 10 goals and 3 assists on the season. Moukoko, 5 goals and 1 assist. He has played 5 fewer games though. So overall, another thoroughly positive episode. Disappointing, of course, to be knocked out of the DFB Pokal, but every cloud has a silver lining, and we can now at least focus entirely on the Bundesliga and the Champions League. So we'll continue to do that in the next episode. I hope to see you there. Take it easy.